Welcome to the Tradies in Business podcast with your hosts Warwick Bidwell and Nicole Cox. Divert your phone and grab a brew as Waz and Nic unpack tips, tales, secrets and stuff-ups from guests both inside and outside your trade, helping educate and inspire you to break the cycle of gut-busting and money stress and create a true trade business.
Well, hello, Coxie.
Hello, Mr. Bidwell.
See, I could have changed. Maybe I should have come up with a new name for the new year.
New name for the new year instead of Coxie?
Yeah, I'll start a new one.
That could be exciting. What are you going to call me? Come on, now you're under pressure.
The Pineapple Farmer.
I am a pineapple freaking farmer. And I'm going to be farming a lot of pineapples this year.
You're a purveyor of fine pineapples.
I really am.
No, we've got some more exciting stuff in the barrel for 2021 than just pineapples, Coxie. I'm going to stick with Coxie because I just like it.
It rolls off the tongue a bit, doesn't it?
Oh, and it's just so ochre, and I always resisted my ochreness. But I think I'm going to embrace it. 2021 is a year to embrace the ochre.
The ochre. Okay, I can get down with that. It's a bit tradie, I must admit.
Ochre was Coxie.
Ochre was and Coxie.
Totes.
I'll try hard. Totes is not ochre. That's a
You're
bit
right, mate.
millennial.
Too right, mate.
Struth.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Well, I love that down here in Taswegia, lots of older guys use the term cobber.
Cobber. It's one of Adam's favourite words.
And I was really thrown when I first moved down here last year and someone referred to me as cobber.
G'day, cobber.
And I thought, what? Hang on. Yeah, okay. And I know what it means. It's actually very old Australian slang. But I think it's kind of cute. I think it's really sweet that some of those old terms are still floating around.
The nephews call Uncle Builder cobber. G'day, cobber.
I suspect they're doing that as a bit of a piss take, though, aren't they, Coxie?
Well, it started with him, and so now they do it back. It's a bit cute. Not that they're old enough to be cute anymore. Now they're teenagers. They're not so cute anymore.
Yeah, totes.
Yes. So, no, we've got some exciting announcements today.
Yes.
Happy freaking New Year, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so excited for 2021.
We've reached that arbitrary period in the calendar where it's a new year.
Well, yeah, it's new. It's exciting. I'm excited. Aren't you excited?
I am actually super excited for what TIB, Tradies in Business, what we got going on this year, Coxie, regardless of what level you're playing the game at in your trade business. Whether you're
actually, I think that's right. Everything we're about to announce is you bang on.
Yeah. And, whether you're an epic tight ass and you just listen to the podcast because it's free, or or if you're, you're ready to really just break out the big boy and girl checkbook and invest in yourself and your business at the highest level and everything in between, we've got some cool stuff in store for this year. And it starts, I think it starts with our challenge this month, Coxie.
Correct. Can we pause and add in a drum roll, please? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Now the drum roll has been done. It does start with our challenge. We are starting the year fresh with a challenge. We are challenging you, all of you that are feeling the pinch after Christmas. Hands up wherever you are, on site, in the car, in the supermarket line, at home with your partner. Hands up who's feeling the pinch after Christmas. That'd be me. I think everybody does. We all feel the pinch. Money gets a bit tight. Cash flow's a little hard. We've all had a few weeks holiday. For some of us, there's no income during that time, and it gets a little bit icky.
Yeah.
But we want to stop that pinch.
It really sucks to come back from Christmas, whether you've had a break or not, and just start seeing those first bills rolling in at the start of January.
They're really uncomfortable, aren't they?
I know. It'd be nice if we could just have like a bill holiday in January.
Wouldn't that be lovely? December, January, we'll take off. We'll catch you back up in February, March. Thank you very much.
Yeah. But the reality is a little different. So Coxie and I have been working at the back end of 2020 to actually create the cash flow challenge, which we probably could have called it something a little sexier than that, because we're not going to create more challenges for people. We're going to help them with their cash flow challenge.
That's a fair point. I hadn't thought of it like that. Yes, thank you for pointing that out.
Hang on, can we just rewind and go back and do that again? But no, we've created a cash flow challenge. It's one of the big areas that just repeatedly comes up for trade business owners is understanding, monitoring and improving cash flow. We're actually creating some flow with cash instead of like a big hole.
Stop.
Yeah, instead of a big stop.
Here's a wall.
I did talk in our last episode last year about flow, and I wanted 2021 to be about more flow for me. So, this is a good start for the year, Coxie, is talking about cash flow.
Shall we very briefly go through what it's actually going to entail, and then we'll move on, because we've got so much more exciting stuff to tell you, and we don't want to be in your ear holes forever, because you need to get online and sign up for all this stuff.
And I reckon that's a great way to stop me waffling. So go, Coxie.
You're welcome. Okay, we're going to be talking about costing. So we're going to help you understand how to track expenses, how to test and measure. That's a big thing a lot of us don't do. And how to break down the business costs so you have a good understanding of what your costing is. And then we're going to teach you about margins and markup. Oh my goodness. Most people don't understand there is a really big difference, and you need to understand as a trade business owner that there is a key difference between margins and markup. We're going to give you some industry insights and guidelines around marking up in your business. And we're going to make it as simple as we can. We're not going to talk in accountant speak. We're going to talk in tradie speak so that you walk away understanding what we're talking about. Then we're going to be talking about quoting. So some of the biggest questions we get are actually around quoting and ensuring that trade business owners are doing it right. So we're going to help you price so that you improve your job profit, and we're going to help you maximize your conversion rate through your quoting. Believe it or not, you can do it. It's not hard. And then we want you to make sure that we're including absolutely everything. So there's no areas that aren't being included in your quote. That means that you find a cash flow pothole further down the road, okay? And finally, we're going to teach you about your break-even point. We're going to give you access to our own unique break-even calculator to help you discover what your business's break-even point is. And we're going to help you set a target for profit and cash flow so that you understand what you need to monitor moving forward and what you're working towards. No more working hard without understanding what financial goal you're actually trying to achieve. So that's all in our cash flow challenge. Now, it starts on the 18th of January. It runs for a month. There will be a lesson each week and a Q&A session. There'll be handouts. I don't know, that sounds like school. Maybe some key takeaway templates and calculators to help you understand what you need to understand. It's all taking place on Facebook, the magical land of Facebook, which makes it really easy for you to get involved in. Simply jump over to our Facebook page. I'm sure there'll be a link up there by now that you can go and join the challenge.
And for a lot of people, Coxie, and you and I have put a lot of thought into our calendar for this entire year, actually. We had mapped out 2021 before 2020 was even looking like finished, because we really want you listeners to start the year differently. We want you to start this year differently to the way you started last year. If you feel like you got caught with your pants down a little bit when COVID hit in February, March last year, if you can remember back that far, this is an opportunity to actually set yourself up for whatever might come at you this year and next year. And it starts right now. It starts with how you manage your finances, how you plan for them, how much you need to make, knowing those numbers, managing your costs, everything that Coxie's just run through. And it's something that we see a lot of people put off and avoid and procrastinate about and get overwhelmed with. And so in 4 weeks, we're really aiming to clear a lot of the fog for you, debunk a bunch of myths, and just demystify and de-wankify this whole topic and just break it down to the simple stuff that actually matters. I think there's so much information around about financial mastery, and everyone thinks that it's got to be really, really hard because that's how it's made to sound by financial people, and it actually isn't. The words sound a bit foreign, and Coxie and I will use some terms that maybe you haven't heard before. I mean, some people are like, markup, margin, what's that? What's the difference? So we'll actually help you to develop a new language that you can use throughout the year in your business. It's going to help you to make better decisions and prepare for whatever might come at me, bro.
Come at you, bro. All right, we're ready to move on to the next exciting thing. Yes, January 29th, we'll see us host our first TIB193 for 2021.
Yeah.
January 29th. You can find all the details over on the Facebook page. It is a 90-day planning session. So essentially, there's lots of people that have never been to a 90-day planning session. If you don't know what you're working toward, you can't possibly get where you need to go. It's as simple as that. Our 90-day planning sessions normally run for about 3 hours. We take you through a goal-setting exercise so you understand what you might like to achieve, and then we help you pare it back to some really small, achievable actions to get you going where you need to be. Otherwise, you're just going to continue to go around the roundabout. I think that's how we languaged it last year. We're talking about going around the roundabout. We're trying to find you some off-roads so that you can actually travel down the road you need to get to paying off your house is a common goal, or spending more time with your family, or having the business run without you actually in it so you can go and explore other opportunities. We have the answers to a lot of those questions, and it starts with the TIB90 event on the 29th of January.
Correct. And that lines up nicely with the cash flow challenge. So you'll be able to actually put together a good plan for February and March and really set some good goals, I guess, for your business, and start to be mindful about business and conscious about what you're doing rather than just busting your butt and hoping for the best, which I think, again, some of you listening to this might have taken that approach through 2020 and maybe it didn't work out quite so well. Maybe it did. But either way, being mindful about your activities means you do what you need to, no more, no less.
You mentioned March. What's happening in March, Warwick?
So we're doing something completely new this year, Coxie. I have for a long time, and I think you're the same, felt like the trades in Australia are a bit divided and disjointed. And it's the same in New Zealand. G'day to our New Zealand listeners as well, our cuzzy bros across the Dutch. And it actually makes me really sad to see some of the infighting and even the piss taking, which I know is usually done in jest and good humor, but there does seem to be a bit of a divide between the different industries, between electricians, plumbers, landscapers, builders, plasterers, painters, et cetera, et cetera. There's not this cohesive body. And I think that really hurts the trades in terms of their voice in the media and with the public. And you and I are starting to change that this year. And the first thing we're going to do to actually start to bring that about, Coxie, is give out some awards, not for a particular industry, but for just trade business owners, and celebrate excellence in trade business ownership. So this has been a bit of an idea and a dream of mine for many years. So I'm stoked that we're actually bringing this to light this year. It's our inaugural awards.
I must admit, way back in Builder's Wife days when I was a builder's wife, I didn't have the Tradies in Business side to what I did. I constantly looked for ways that I could be recognised for the role I played in the business, and there just aren't a lot of awards out there unless you want to spend a lot of money and win the best house award, or there's just actually not a lot. Yes, they're starting to do some business partner awards. I actually always found that a little bit offensive, but did win one anyway. But it's not, I don't know, it's not an accepted whole trade award. It's kind of a bit segregated. And that was the problem for me. So I'm really excited that these awards are going to provide opportunity for every business structure in the trade. So it's not just about top performing businesses. It's about small men in a van. It's about mum, dad businesses that might have a couple of employees. And we're going to have some higher level businesses that will be competing as well, all in your own areas. So you don't have to, as a man in the van, compete against the guy with 20 staff. You're going to have your own category. So we've put a lot of time and effort into thinking what each business type needs to be awarded or recognized for. It's a recognition, right? Gives you the opportunity to let your clients know that you are performing really well in the business that you are running. It's a great way to validate what you do all day, every day. And I'm really pumped for our awards. It's probably almost my most exciting point for this year ahead. Almost.
It's interesting. Well, the other most exciting thing is that you're still here on the podcast with me, of course.
Naturally.
But you think about it, we have the tourism awards.
Yes.
That's to celebrate tourism businesses, which could be crocodile tours in the Territory or a bungee jumping business in the Blue Mountains. I mean, they're in completely different categories, but it celebrates tourism businesses. And so these awards are going to celebrate tradies in business. And we are doing it with our own twist. It's going to be, dare I say, COVID safe. So we're going to be paying attention to, possible COVID challenges and making it easier at the same time for all of you to be involved, whether that's actually as an entrant or as someone who actually attends the awards. I don't know if I want to give all of it away yet, Coxie, but we're going to have a heck of a lot of fun. We're going to celebrate some fantastic people, like many of our real tradie guys and real tradie wives that have been on the podcast. And they are the sort of people who, they would be a pretty good chance at picking up an award, hint, hint, Amy, if they actually pop an entry in. And, they could take out their category, and we're going to do things a little differently to the regular business awards, which is the way we do things here at Tradies in Business. So, yeah, I'm really pumped for this, Coxie, and I would really ask you listeners to get on board with it. We do want lots of you to enter. There will be, as Coxie said, heaps of categories. We're working hard on sponsors and all sorts of stuff to provide something different to the usual piece of polished plastic that you would get at a regular business awards. So,
as a person that had never won a trophy, I think trophies are still very important. I really do.
It's better than a certificate in a frame, as is hanging behind me on the wall.
We each have those.
Which I still have hanging there because that's all I damn well got.
Right, that leads into our final announcement for today. This is by no means the final exciting thing for Tradies in Business this year, but for the first half of this year, we've worked really hard to pack as much in as we possibly can. And in July and August, unsure of the dates, we need to give the Christmas period a little time to settle, but July, August, we will be having our first ever conference, Tradies in Business Conference. You don't need to be a member, much like you don't need to be a member for the awards. We're going to have a conference for tradies who run businesses. This is my number one exciting point for this year.
Junket.
Yeah. I'll meet you at the bar.
And look, it is already being marked in the calendars of some of our clients and members who are like, yo, beauty, tax deductible holiday.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm not suggesting that it is tax deductible. You should seek advice from your tax professional or accountant. There's the disclaimer. But again, it's a little bit like the awards, Coxie, as a long-time business coach, and before that, financial planning. All those industries have conferences. They have national events where you can get along and learn from fantastic speakers and go to breakout sessions and pick up tips and little innovations that you can take back to your business or your personal life. And you get to hang out with a bunch of awesome people that are doing similar stuff and learning things, and have great stories to share and lots of wisdom. And then, of course, there's the social aspect of it. Donating some money to the bartender and having a bit of fun, and maybe making a dick of yourself. Hopefully, we capture some photos of that stuff. So, again, we're doing that for tradies in business. If you're a tradie in a business, then you qualify to come to the conference. Obviously, it's not free, but there are special rates and bonuses for clients and members of Tradies in Business. But if you're a listener to the podcast and you'd like to come hang out with some awesome peeps, then you're more than welcome to attend. We want you there. It's going to be an in-person event, pending any unknown changes to the global landscape. It will be held here in Australia, so the Kiwis can come over and say, hey, if Jacinda will let them out, we'll let them back. But yeah, conference, cool. I used to love conference. I loved it as much for just the good chin wags over a very seedy Saturday morning breakfast, where you just got to talk to people that you didn't really spend a lot of time with outside of the annual conference, and learned a heck of a lot from a lot of different business people over the years that just doesn't happen in any other forum. So and it's a great way to celebrate and have a bit of fun together as well as tradies in business.
It's a brilliant networking opportunity too. We find in our social times in Tradies in Business, whether it just be the Friday afternoon drinks call we do once a month, or whether it be in our previous incarnations of live events, people networked and they found new connections to work with or seek work from. It's a great opportunity to hang out with like-minded people, and it's not something that trades are afforded the opportunity to do very often. So I'm super proud about this one. We'll announce more details end of January, beginning of Feb, including the firm dates and locations so that you can start to book your accommodation and flights if necessary. Super exciting. 3-day conference. Woo!
Just make sure you bring a mask. And maybe
no, we won't be masking. It's going to be fine, Warwick. There will be no problems.
We're getting in flow this year. So there you go. We have some cool stuff planned for you as a trade business owner. And your support crew for the year. And that's just the first half of the year. So if we all survive that, we got more stuff planned for the back end of 2021. We want to make this year different for all of you listening to the show. So the only thing you really have to do is get involved, get in, get amongst it, and be a part of the cool stuff, whether that's the cash flow challenge, perhaps you want to enter the Tradies in Business Excellence Awards, or you're just going to save up and get along to the conference and make the absolute most of hanging out with a bunch of awesome peeps there. Or maybe you're going to do all of it. I know we are. Well, we kind of have to, don't we, Coxie?
We're going to be exhausted, but happily so.
Man, I can feel a mid-year holiday coming on.
Me too.
Actually,
maybe around conference time?
I'll do that. I'll go get my shoulder surgery done after the conference.
Oh, yes.
And then I'll just take a
shoulders are haunting my life, honestly.
I know, it's all your fault. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, listeners. Welcome to the best year of your life. We're going to help you make the most of it, and we'll chat to you again next episode.
Thanks for listening.
Hooroo. Button's gone away again.
You've been listening to the Tradies in Business podcast with Warwick Bidwell and Nicole Cox. Find out more about today's guest, tools for your trade business, and other cool stuff at tradiesinbusiness.com.au.